Yes! Another one. Another one. There's a lot of these happening. I'm trying to sprinkle other stuff in it as well. But, you know, you and I both enjoy doing these, so why not keep them going? Today's video is an oat brown lagered ale. I say lagered because I'm using the WLP 810 yeast. So it's sort of like a hybrid between an oatmeal stout, but obviously lighter because it's a brown ale, and I'm using a lager sort of style common yeast. By common, I mean like Anchor Brewery. This is a beer inspired off a brewery I may or may not be able to do a beer with, Brew Beer Company. I did a pilot batch with them in the past. The head brewer, owner, or one of the owners, co-owner, hit me up and said, hey, actually how it started, let me go back, was I got a barrel from Sarah's work. Her boss, Joe, they own like 4 different locations in Los Angeles. They have a bar in downtown called Everson Royce Bar. They have 3 bottle wine shops. They also have tasting rooms in those. They also sell hard alcohol. Within the hard alcohol, Joe gets to choose barrels through different distilleries, whiskeys namely, and they gets a bottle from one barrel from like a big name brand. He's Maker's Mark already. He's an Eagle Rare. He did 4 Roses. He did Elijah Craig. So I think annually he goes to that place, to the location. He samples some barrels, and he goes, I want that one. They bottle it for him, slap his name on it, and sells it exclusively at a store. Pretty awesome. So once the barrel was empty, I hit up Sherwin, and I was like, hey, man, you want a barrel? And he goes, yeah, man, I do. And I said, cool, man. And I drove it over to him, and he's like, all right, let's brew a beer to put it in. And I was like, good. And so we did some back and forth on what we could do, and came up with an oat brown ale, or lagered ale, because all their yeast are a common strain, or most of their yeast are, I should say. So I was like, great, let's do it. But the barrel was old, and old-ish, is a little over a month and a half, and he's like, I need to fill this thing. I was like, I agree. So he filled it, so he couldn't fill it with the oat brown, but he still made me want to do this beer with me. And here I am today. I'm brewing somewhat of a test batch. I just want to see how this tastes, get a feel for the recipe that we sort of hashed out a little bit. So let's go through what this is here. I'm going up percentages here because it's different for everyone who does 5-gallon batches. It's also going to be very different on his 15-barrel system. So it is 67.5% 2-row. That might change to Maris Otter. We'll see. But he was okay with 2-row, at least when I first sent this to him. Flaked Oats is going to be 17%. 8% Melanoiden, well 8.3 to be exact, 4.9% Crystal 60, 2.3% chocolate malt. So that's the malt bill. That gives me an SRM of about 19, or that's what it says on Beersmith. So that's about what I think would be a good starting point. We'll see how that brownness turns out, the level of it. We may want to add a little more Flaked Oats too. 17% is pretty high. I wouldn't mind going as high as 20, but we'll see what he can do on a system or what he wants to do. Hops is going to be Magnum for an IBUs of 35. The gravity, starting gravity, I'm going for about 1065. If I'm a little higher, a little lower, it's not the end of the world for what I'm doing. We'll dial it in on his system if we get to do it. So those are the basic parameters on it. We're looking at about a 6% alcohol beer. An imperial version of this would be great too, especially putting it into a barrel. So that's it. That's the reason behind this brew day. And hopefully I can brew this with him soon. Hopefully that actually happens, because it would be great to do that. It'd be a lot of fun, actually. And yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. At 1042, a little high. Let's see about that. My efficiency, it's been pretty good recently on certain brew days. I'm going to dilute this down just a fraction. I really want to hit my target a little bit better here, so I really want to hit closer to 1066, 1065. So I'll dilute it down, and hopefully that gets me at the end closer to what I want. there it is. I messed up a little bit. I overdid the water a fraction. I did eyeball it a bit more this time. I didn't do exact math on it. I just threw some distilled water in there. I thought I had it right. I overdid it a fraction. I was going for 1065 range in my 1060. I will say though, the original recipe, if I recall what I sent to him while we were working out, was closer to a 1060 in gravity. So this is closer to an actual brown ale in the gravity. Not a big deal. We'll still get a good idea of what this is going to taste like, hopefully. This is going to cringe a lot of people. I'm going to measure it out using this roughly to get what I want. I need about 10 milliliters. I washed it out, I sanitized it. I really miss the White Labs tubes days, man. So nice to be able to just do half and then just save it in the same tube. Ugh. Okay. Ferment this out and then taste it and see how it is. See what the tasting. All right, let's do it. So the color, nice brown color. I rinsed this glass out, I swear to God. It is a little dirty still. But there it is. It's a good color. That's what I was going for. A really good solid brown. Nose off the bat is like slight roast. That's about it. I'm not getting too much malt character. Pretty subtle. Maybe a tiny bit of hops are coming through. But it smells like a nice brown, you know, just like a solid straight up slight roast, nice little hoppy aroma to it. Just very minor though. Not much esters or anything like that going on, but clean. I'm not getting any weird off flavors off the smell. Moment of truth. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's really nice. It's definitely hoppier. It's leaning toward the IPA range. It tastes like, at least. But it's more of the flavor than it is like a bitter though, which I like. I mean, this is really nice. I think the body on it's really nice. I do wish I had my numbers a bit better on this, but you know, other than that, it's very solid, very, very clean, very well rounded. The oats are doing something. It feels like, it seems like, at least. There's a nice sort of beefy body to it, which is great. I think I'd change anything on it at all. I think it was a good first recipe for the one that I want to try and do with Brew Beer Company. I'll bring it to Sherwin. I'll have him try it out and see what he thinks. And you know, this could very well just be the foundation of the beer we do if we ever get to it. I don't think I would change too much, honestly. Maybe higher more gravity, a little bit more gravity on it, a little bit more maltier in that regard. Other than that, the bitterness level is good. I find that the amount of Flaked Oats is good, color is good. I think I did a good job with this. So yeah, there you go. There's an oat brown for you. So yeah, like, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. Things are coming up soon, sort of soonish. Stay tuned for that. And see you next time.